We must discuss the recent events on American cable television because, in the world of professional tennis, there are moments that drastically change the sport's demography in addition to victories and trophies. The latter is what we just saw. You may have noticed a statistical anomaly, a spike, or a rise that contradicts the typical analytics of a mid-season broadcast. The Tennis Channel, if you have been keeping an eye on the metrics released by the Tennis Channel USA over the past 48 hours. A network that often serves a very certain traditional tennis population and has a reach of over 60 million households nationwide. It's a world of technical study, legacy fan bases, and silent appreciation. However, that network was the center of a viral digital storm this week that took Santa Monica executives, analysts, and producers by surprise. What's causing this disturbance? Alexandra Eala is a 20-year-old southpaw from Quezon City, Philippines. The headline, Tennis Channel USA surprised that you're seeing everywhere is accurate. However, that would be an understatement. They weren't only taken aback. They were submerged. The network didn't simply attract a typical segment audience when they highlighted Eala's historic run and recent breakthrough into the WDA Top 50. They gained access to one of the most fervently devoted, technologically engaged, and passionate fan populations in all of sports. We are discussing the Filipino diaspora around the world. The aforementioned video clip, which was supposed to be a typical profile of a rising celebrity, did more than simply appear on television. It moved. On social media, it was torn, cut, shared, and blown up, bringing the Tennis Channel's brand to a level of interaction that is uncommon outside of a Big Three Grand Slam final. Engagement rates are comparable to those of the sports titans. Golf, Swiatek, Alcaraz. However, this was a champion from America. It was AlexandraEala. Why is this important? Because tennis has been looking for the next big market for decades. With Li Na, they turned to China. With Naomi Osaka and Kei Nishikori, they looked to Japan. However, AlexandraEala's current situation is different. It's organic. It's noisy. It is also indisputable. You have a recipe for a viral explosion when you have a subscriber base of 60 million homes and all of a sudden a significant portion of that viewership intensity is concentrated on a single player who represents a country desperate for a worldwide sporting icon. We're going to try something new today. We will report more than simply the score. We are delving deeply. Bit by bit, we will demolish this anomaly. We will examine AlexandraEala's journey from Manila's shell courts to the US Open's immaculate hard courts. The Rafa Nadal factor, the school instruction that shaped her steel mentality, will be examined. We'll dissect her game's technical development. That has enabled her to defeat Grand Slam winners. Importantly, we'll look at why this particular Tennis Channel viral moment is a sign of things to come for women's tennis. AlexandraEala has awakened the United States. There are now 60 million subscribers. Who she is no longer the question. How far she can go is the question. This is the deep dive, so fasten your seatbelts. Let's put this viral moment in perspective. You must comprehend the void that AlexandraEala is filling in order to appreciate the scope of what we are witnessing on the Tennis Channel. Southeast Asian tennis has been looking for a player who can go beyond a regional circuit for a very long time. We have witnessed outstanding athletes. We have undoubtedly witnessed journeymen and journeywomen who have established honorable careers. However, a real, respectable singles competitor on the WDA Tour? It's a unicorn. The Tennis Channel probably anticipated a player-to-watch section and a typical appreciation post when they broadcast their program. What they experienced was a clash with patriotism. You must keep in mind that when Manny Pacquiao fights, the Philippines ceases to exist. When a player with even a trace of Filipino ancestry on the court, this nation floods the NBA comment sections. Therefore, when AlexandraEala, a native talent who speaks the language, carries a flag, and freely displays her heritage, literally, by wearing Sampaguita hair ties at Wimbledon, gets a spotlight on a major US network, the response is not just applause but ownership. What a journey it has been, and the fans feel like they are a part of it. It wasn't an isolated incident that went viral. It is the result of years of methodical, ruthless, and brilliant climbing. Let's go back to the beginning. It would be impossible to discuss Alexandra Eala without mentioning Manticore, Spain, and the Rafa Nadal Academy. When you watch Eala play, particularly in these highlights that are currently making the rounds, there is a certain lineage that comes from that institution. You can see that academy's DNA. It's evident in the top spins heft. The inability to give up on a ball is an example of it. Eala recently verified a rumor regarding her practice sessions with Rafael Nadal. For a moment, picture that. As a teenager, you are engaged in combat with the King of Clay. He advised her to surround herself with kind people. In the competitive world of professional tennis, this advice might mean the difference between burnout and longevity. It may sound straightforward, even cliched. Her latest alterations to her style of play demonstrate that Nadal was a mentor to her. The difference between her performance in the 2025 to 2026 season and her matches from the 2022 US Open Juniors, when she became the first Filipino to win a junior Grand Slam singles title, is astounding. She could count on perseverance and persistence. Grit is sufficient in the professional ranks when facing powerful hitters like Sabalenka or Jessica Pegula. Weapons are necessary. The Tennis Channel's popular videos highlight her new arsenal, particularly her lefty forehand. In women's tennis, being a lefty is already a huge tactical advantage. It simply is difficult to approach, but it opens up angles for right-handers. It throws off the opponent's rhythm. Eala has started to smooth out that shot. Earlier, she took the ball. This was particularly clear during her US Open match against Clara Tauson, which solidified her rise to prominence. Eala didn't back down in a decisive set. She intervened. It's a harsh influence. From defense to attack. Let's discuss that US Open run since it provides context for the sudden attention from the American audience. The loudest and most chaotic Grand Slam is the US Open. New York City is the location. A certain amount of showmanship, or at the very least the capacity to tolerate the cacophony, is necessary to succeed there. Eala flourished there. Why? Because the Filipino community in New York made an appearance. We witnessed events that resembled Davis Cup ties on external courts. An electrifying atmosphere is flagged by chance. This excitement was captured by the Tennis Channel cameras. They noticed that Eala had an atmosphere generator built in. That's gold for a broadcaster. You want a player on your screen who attracts her own audience. They are showcasing her because of this. She is becoming viral because of this. It's not only the mood, though. It's the outcomes. We must examine the figures. Perhaps the most difficult step in professional tennis is breaking into the top 50 of the WTA rankings. The difference between the top 50 and the top 100 is enormous. It sets the qualifiers apart from the main draw basics. Eala tells the tour that she is no longer a prospect when she crosses that threshold and reaches world number 50. She is a competitor. Late in 2025, the course of her career took a sharp change. The Southeast Asian Games may not be familiar to an American audience watching the Tennis Channel, but for Eala and her core fanbase, the medal represented atonement. It was obligation. It was a flag-playing game. And she was in charge. She didn't miss a set. It was a pressure cooker of a victory. She was a big favorite. Anything that fell short of the objective would have been a failure. To finish matches on the WTA Tour, you need the mental toughness necessary to deal with that expectation. Let's talk about the social media component and the viral factor once more. These days, a player's personality is just as important as their backhand. Eala is getting better at striking a balance. She is articulate, modest, and extremely proud. The Wimbledon Sampaguita moment. Whether on purpose or not, her wearing of the Philippine flag was a masterclass in branding. It provided a sign for the audience. It provided a visual hook for the narrative. The friendship with Turkish star Zeynep Samez and their mutual history-making were highlighted in the Tennis Channel's summary of her season. A worldwide audience that yearns for connection finds resonance in these stories. I now want to turn my attention to the technical study of why her game is doing so well on TV, which helps explain the enormous audience. Eala's game is visually appealing. It's tidy. She doesn't grumble too much. In slow-motion replays, her flowing movements appear good. Sports broadcasting is the mainstay. Her down-the-line backhand is starting to become a defining move. Highlight reels are produced when you have a signature shot. You gain subscribers when you receive highlight reels. It's a visibility cycle. But we also need to be critical. If we didn't consider the difficulties, this in-depth analysis wouldn't be truthful. There are two sides to viral fame. Millions of new people have seen her thanks to the Tennis Channel segment, which has also attracted millions of new critics. The top 50 is now the calibrated expectation. A loss in the first round is no longer a teaching moment. It's upsetting. Her shoulders are under tremendous pressure. With Emma Raducanu, we witnessed this. With Osaka, we witnessed this. Overnight, you go from being the media's sweetheart to the tour's target. Eala is now in the living rooms of the average American sports fan thanks to the Tennis Channel's 60 million households. She is no longer merely a hero from the Philippines. She is starting to become well known in tennis. This alters how rivals get ready for her. They'll investigate her more thoroughly. They will target her second serve, which is still the region that requires the most defense if we are being analytical. Her kick serve works well on clay, but if it's not put precisely, it can sit up on the fast hard courts of the US swing. These flaws will be brought to light due to the viral scrutiny. The optimism around this news cycle, however, stems from this counterargument. Eala has demonstrated an uncommon ability to adapt at the age of 20. Take a look at her Miami match versus Jessica Pegula. Pegula is a flat, hard, low machine. Eala took in that speed. She was not blasted off the court. Yes, she did not win, but she did participate. She belongs in the 1,000 level competitions, as that match demonstrated. The analysts on Tennis Channel are aware of this. They are promoting her stuff because of this. They are placing a wager that her stock will increase. They are counting on the reality that that 60 million reach will turn into ratings gold if she has a strong showing at the US Open or Indian Wells. We also need to discuss the Asian swing. Although tennis is a worldwide sport, Western media frequently ignores the Asian swing at the end of the season. That dynamic is being altered by Eala. At the moment, she is the face of that area. Eala is essential if the Tennis Channel is to maintain viewership over the Asian swing. The bridge is her. She links the tournaments in Tokyo, Beijing, and Hong Kong to the US prime-time audience. In a sense, the network is recognizing the geopolitical shift in tennis interest with this viral moment. Let's examine the headline's element of surprise in more detail. The Tennis Channel USA was taken aback, but why? It highlights